It is now 8 AM and I did sleep for 2 hours because I do still have the flu and I felt just like really sick inside my head, if that makes sense. So I slept for 2 hours, but I'm feeling much better now and I'm gonna continue. I might have to take several naps during the day, so I'm not quite sure if I'm actually gonna read more than one book. We'll see. I'm gonna take it slow. I'm not gonna do too much. But yeah, I feel a lot better now. I have had some tea from my wonderful little Hansel and Gretel mug, because obviously if I'm gonna do a fairy tale readathon, I'm gonna use the right mugs. And I'm currently, what is it, 312 pages into Land of Stories Part 2 by Chris Korf. I really enjoy it. But I just got to this part where for some reason, from misprint, the pages are upside down. And I did realize this right after I bought it. What I didn't realize was that the first sentence on every page is also cut off. I hope it's only the first sentence. So I'm gonna see how I'll be able to read it. I think it's only nearly 20 pages, I think even a little less. So hopefully I'll be able to read this. To talk about some of my bookmarks, because as I said, I'm making this readathon a fairy tale themed one, and I have fairy tale themed bookmarks. Of course I do. So at the moment in the book I'm reading, I am using this one from Book Depository that I just coloured myself, and then I have this little collection of fairy tale ones. First of all, I have this postcard that I just use as a bookmark, and it's Cornelia Funke's Inkward as a map, and I think it's just really pretty. It's so detailed and yeah, just really beautiful. And also from Cornelia Funke Portilla is this magnetic bookmark that you can just clip on, and it's just, yeah, the scene from Portilla, from Cornelia Funke's Portilla, with the little fairy sitting in the moonlight. And then I have two Alice in Wonderland ones. One is from Alice's shop in Oxford, just the scene of Alice and her friends having afternoon tea. And on the back there are some illustrations and a little bit of history about Lewis Carroll and Alice in Wonderland and how it got created. And then I have this one also from Book Depository, but I got it in a part of a present from my sister, and it's this Alice in Wonderland one with Alice and some of the creatures from the book, and then on the back it just has some information on one of the many versions of Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, as I said, at the moment I'm using the one I coloured in myself, but depending on what I read later on, I probably will use some of the others as well. Alright, now I'm gonna take my wonderful fairy tale mug and get some tea and maybe something to eat and take a little break, and then I'll read the last, I think it's 120 pages of Land of Stories. I'm actually doing quite well. I caught up. 12 o'clock and I finally finished Land of Stories, the second part, The Enchantress Returns by Chris Colfer. And oh my god, I did not expect for that ending to hit me that hard. I was literally just lying in bed with a book, just sobbing. Because I love second parts in series. You just have so much more time to get to know the characters and to have more details, and you already know all the basic stuff, so you can go into detail and you can learn more about all the people and all the places, and that really was the case in this one. I loved the first book, and this continued the things I loved in the first book, like especially the relationships Chris Colfer establishes between the different fairy tale characters. I think that's really clever the way he does it. But this just had so much more depth to it. We had so much more character development, we had very interesting decisions the characters face, and there were so many interesting and more like universal themes in it. There was talk about grief and moving on and planning a future and finding where you belong. And it's just, it's got quite emotional, as I said, but I just absolutely loved it. And I'm really glad I finished it, but I also really want to have the next part right now to continue. But I think I actually might make it a tradition to read these during readathons, because even though this one did take me quite a bit longer than the first one, which I think also has to do with my flu and the headache I get when I'm sick, I still managed to read it quite quickly, and I still think these are good readathon books. I like getting through them in one go. So yeah, really loved that one. I think I'm gonna make some food now and take a little break. It's also still snowing, it's really pretty. And then I'll see what I will read next. As I said, I want to keep this a fairy tale themed readathon, so I'm just gonna go through my fairy tale collection. I might pick up like a collection and just read a few short fairy tales. I also would really like to reread Alice Through the Looking Glass, since it's been a long time, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see in a while. Break first. So I fell asleep. Yeah. Not quite sure how that happened. Just kind of woke up and it was dark. I mean, it's not even 8 PM now. It's nearly 8 PM, but not quite. But yeah, I fell asleep. Obviously I'm not feeling too well. Obviously I'm not gonna finish another novel. Obviously I'm gonna go to bed as soon as possible and get all the sleep my immune system needs, because sick. I did manage to finish 2 novels. I also started reading Alice. The first part, what's the title? Alice Adventures in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I'm so awake. I got about halfway into that and sleep happened. So yeah, not gonna finish that. However, this isn't the end. I still have a secret fairy tale weapon. So this little trolley thing is a collection of really, really tiny Disney princess books with really, really short stories of why the Disney princess are Disney princess. So I'm gonna read as many as possible of this, just to say I read more books, just to read a bit more. They are tiny, so that will happen. Theoretically I have 4 more hours until the readathon is over. I'm not gonna read for 4 more hours. But yes, that's gonna happen now. So I'm gonna read this little luggage thing because I'm a child. And I guess I'm gonna catch up with you tomorrow. Okay, so it's Sunday now, and I'm just gonna quickly wrap up what I've read. So the main read I had was Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. This is the second part. I read the last part in my 48-hour readathon. I'm gonna leave a link to the vlog where I read that down below and up here in the info card. This was quite a heavy one and it did take me half of the readathon, but I just absolutely adored it. I talked about it before, so I'm not gonna go into detail anymore, but yeah, just really loved this. Then I read Lewis Carroll's Alice Through the Looking Glass, which is the second part to Alice in Wonderland. Adored it absolutely. This was a reread, but I just love Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. And I always forget just how funny Lewis Carroll is. He has such a weird sense of humor and I absolutely love it. I laughed out loud multiple times whilst reading this, and I'm just really glad that I got to reread it. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I also started reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I think I got about halfway through and that's when I fell asleep. But still really adored it. I didn't manage to complete the reread. And then, as you saw, I got to this little kids box of Disney fairy tales. I will count the tiny pages as whole pages, but I think I'm just gonna count this whole box as one book. So up here will be a page count and a book count. And yeah, although this wasn't as successful as my previous readathons, which is mostly due to me just not feeling well. I have the flu, I have headaches and all that stuff, so it wasn't the ideal situation to begin with, but I still had a lot of fun. I loved reading the books. Yeah, Readathon by Zoe is always a lot of fun because so many people participate. So if you've participated, then please let me know down below what you read, and if you vlogged the whole thing, also let me know. I love watching these videos. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you always have a reason to smile and something to read, and I shall see you soon. Bye!